There is a constant challenge of their Christian faith. And granted, Christ said that, you'll be hated because I was hated. There's a constant challenge there. But I think it's more so on college campuses because they want to encourage free thought. They want to challenge everything. They want to challenge what's known as right. And it's very difficult as a Christian because we know that the Bible is God's inerrant word. And if it's the same yesterday and tomorrow, then it doesn't change. But when you put the two ideas together, they're very conflicting. Last semester, I had a Victorian Lit professor who, because one of the teachings during the Victorian Lit time, the 1800s, was Darwin. And he had a whole class built around Darwin and his teachings and what everything was involved with that. And it's very difficult because I was just sitting there and I so desperately wanted to just get up and walk out. As just, it felt like a ranting session against God. It felt wrong, but, in my sinful nature and in my weakness, I just sat there and did nothing. And I kind of beat myself up afterwards, but, it was important to remember the fact that, even Peter denied Christ at one time, but even he was forgiven. And so that's probably the biggest thing, is the fact that young Christian adults will have that challenge of staying firm in their faith and what they believe. And that's not to say that you can't, be part of a particular political party or part of a particular group on a campus or be involved with something, but it's just the fact that your identity is found in Christ, and it's important to remember that. So while you may have a voice in something else, it's important to remember where you come from and where you stand on that, and everything else is just arbitrary and just it blows with the wind. I'm a what we call a peer minister. And basically that's just someone who leads Bible studies at Memorial, someone who makes calls to students, someone who checks up on students. And it's a lot of fun because it's a very cohesive group. It's we're very strong in our Christian identity. We lean on one another, we support one another. One of the things that we often call ourselves in our church group is our second family. We all act like brothers and sisters to each other. We know that if someone is having a tough day, we know that if there's an issue that someone is dealing with, we can just talk to one another and know that there is the voice of God on the other side, that there is a strong Christian belief there that we can help each other and lean on each other with. And so it's important that because of the issues that are going on campuses today and how to deal with them, church groups are one of the biggest proponents and one of the biggest champions of how to do it right. It may not be, the most popular group, it may not be the biggest group, but it is the most important group. It's the best group. And maybe that's a little bit biased, maybe that's a little unfair, but that's obviously, that's what I've seen work. And it's because of the fact that we all have sort of a fire inside of us, and it's important to keep that fire going.